How you doing, guys? This is Andrew at the Warrior Vault. I'm coming to you with Game 2 at Outside the Box Birthday Tournament. I want to apologize in advance if my voice sounds a little scratchy here and there. It's because I've been fighting off a cold for the past couple days, but wanted to get this out there for you. Okay, so something about Outside the Box games. It's a great place to play games. If you guys are in the area, it's in Voorhees, New Jersey. And they have a tournament once a month, and I usually go out to every one that I can, being I don't get a lot of friendly games in. It's a great place for me to, hone my skills and stay competitive. This is me, and this is my opponent. I'm not very good with names, so there he is. And here's his list. It's 42 Plague Bearers, 3 sets of 2 Beasts, 2 Soul Grinders, a BSB on a Palquin. We got Epidemius and a Great Unclean One. So you see it's a tough list. And here's the list. So there was a lot of talk about this and a lot of people saying, hey, what do you think about the list? The aesthetics of this and, is he going too far? And, honestly, I don't really think so. I think this is okay. I've seen a lot worse. I think this is great because it's all in one theme. And he's not really sacrificing cost for models just to play the game, and that's where it kind of gets where somebody's taking it a little too far. I like this. I'm not a fan of Ghostbusters, but I think this is an okay list. Well, okay model set, if you will. But I'll walk you through it since it's ambiguous. This is a Soul Grinder, another Soul Grinder, 2 Beasts in Nurgle, 2 Beasts in Nurgle, and a third set of Beasts in Nurgle, the BSB, the Great Unclean One, and Epidemius and his Plague Bearers, of course. Alright, so for high magic, I got Walk Between Worlds. Soul Quench I took with my level 1 as well, so I have 2 of them, Hand of Glory and Fiery. For his magic, he got Miasma of Pestilence, Curse of the Leper, Rancid Visitation, and Fleshy Abundance, I think. I'm not sure about the Fleshy Abundance. I think that's what he had, but he didn't cast it, or he didn't ever cast the other spell on his list. And Blades of Putrefaction, or it was his level 1. Okay, so his deployment looks like this. He put his BSB to the far left with 2 beasts. We have the Papa Nurgle here, level 4, the 2 more beasts, Soul Grinder, Epidemius and his unit behind it, the other Soul Grinder and a beast here, and that's the far right. There's nothing over there. Alright, so my far left, I put my Knights on a flank. I got my 2 Bolt Throwers. I got Articuno here, the Frost Phoenix. I got my 10 Archers, my Sisters, and my Handmaiden. I have my White Lions with my level 1, which I actually forgot the model, so I had to proxy another model, as if you see here. The Handmaiden is... Okay, so the Handmaiden's here. Here's the BSB, and then Everqueen. Then I have the 2 Bolt Throwers, 10 more Archers, and then my 5 Fast Scav. And it kind of looks like I'm forward up, but I don't always start on the line. Okay, so Daemons won first turn. And he moves everything up aggressively. And that goes for everything. And this guy here. Okay, so for magic, he got a 6 and a 4. And he was able to cast the Curse of the Leper and Miasma Pestilence. So he got me down to toughness 1. And he dropped my weapon skill and my initiative, I think it is. And I'm not really too worried because I do have the Banner of the World Dragon. So I'll get 2 boards against most of everything he has. But being toughness 1 means he's basically going to wound me on 2s all across the board. Alright, so High Elves turn 2. Okay, so since he came and he stuck his nose out through this building, I double charged him here. And what I'm hoping for is that I can break him in 1 turn. And I don't think that's too much of a problem with all these points here. I break him in 1 turn, and then I can overrun and then move out of the line of sight of these guys here. And also I get a turn to shoot them, because I have to deal with this. I can't just sit back and let this come over. This will pillage my whole left flank. So I had to do something, and me getting the charge is better. Alright. And then I charged his Soul Grinder. Now I was lucky enough that all my charges came through. I can't remember what I needed for this. Probably 6 or 7, but it was just nice that everything just worked. It doesn't always go that way, but this time it did. Oh, and this guy should be, trailing behind the shooting here. And I put my chaff up here so that it would cause him to take a turn to, redirect, kill them. And hopefully what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to kill these guys here, or do the best I can to wear them down with shooting, and then he'll be left, and then I'll take another turn to shoot him. Okay, so for magic, I rolled a 5 and a 2. I cast Hand of Glory, and I get 1 weapon skill back. That's all I get off. I go for Fiery, but he stops it. And then here's the shooting. Okay, so these guys, the sisters can only see him, so they shoot him. They shoot the Great Unclean One. But the big thing is, I think I put 3 wounds on these guys. It's not huge. I would like more, but I'm whittling them away. And then over here, I kill one of these guys, one of the beasts, and put a wound on the other. So that was pretty good. Then we go to combat, and I break both units. So, I had 15 strength 5 attacks, hitting on, I think, 4s or 5s, rerolling to hit, and then wounding on 4s, and then the bird, minus 1 of his strength, plus its 4 attacks, and I was on the flank. So I dropped him down here to, I think he had 2 or 3 wounds left, and then he crumbled to death, so I overran. So now I'm going to be able to get a flank on Epidemius unit, and also I turned the bird so I can handle this on the left. And then over here, I broke the Soul Grinder, which is no surprise. He's got such a big footprint. I have so many attacks going into him. It was no surprise. Oh yeah, so this is another view of how I managed this side. So I overrun. If I would have hit the unit, I wouldn't have felt bad. It would have been okay. But I got to the point where now he's not going to be able to get out of my line of sight. It's hard to see, but I'm either going to get him in a flank, or if he moves up aggressively, I can get him in a rear. And there's only 3 wounds left on this guy, so my bird should be able to helpfully hold him up. Alright, so that's the end of turn 1, and that's what it looks like. So, Demon's turn 2. Alright, so he charges here, and then he charges Epidemius into the White Lions. And I don't know if I think that's where he made a mistake. And the only reason why I'll recap on that is because what happens here is, if I was playing this list, I know the Banner of the World Dragon is going to be hard to fight. How am I going to deal with it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to move around, I'm going to clean up everything else he has on the board, and get the tally up as high as I can. With the tally high, it's about even between him getting the rerolls of the ward saves and him having better toughness against, my White Lions. He could have chaffed me up, or just sacrificed his general, moved out of my line of sight, took an extra turn. Meanwhile, these guys would have came down here and smashed everything here, and then he just would have had to tally all the way up. But this is what he chose to do. And then we have this that looks like this. So he just moved them up aggressively. I still have line of sight to take either one of these if I need to. And so for magic, he gets a 5 and a 4, and he once again gets my weapon skill debuff down. I think that's all he got. All he went for, or I blocked the other spell. Okay, so he kills 4 White Lions, and I direct all the attacks that I can at Epidemius, but Epidemius is, he's tough. I mean, his weapon skill I think is even to mine or higher, and he's Nurgle, so I'm not really hitting too often, so I have to remedy that. With him lowering my weapon skill, that kind of hurts. And a Great Unclean One's a boss. He's really hard to hurt, and he's stomping me. So he gets a couple more after that. And that's it. This looks like this. Stay Puff goes after. He crushes the Reavers, no problem, and I think he reforms. Okay, so High Elves turn 2. Okay, so movement. It looks like this. I charge in the rear with my Knights, and then I move the bird over. I decided that, hey, I got to take out this unit. That's the most important thing. If I can break that unit the following turn, then that would be great. So over here, what I decide to do is I move my archers up. Everything else on the left flank is kind of out of his reach. If I move the archers up, I give him a nice greasy, nice charge, easy. It's going to be, he's going to take it, and he's going to take this flank. That flank's already gone, but over on the left, I'll be able to take out his BSB and get some of the extra points back. So I'm not too worried. All right, so I start for magic. I get a 6 and a 2, and I also channel 1. And I get, I go for Hand of Glory. He stops it. So then I go for Hand of Glory again, and because of Everqueen's skill, and I get it, and I think I get 3 weapon skill. It's either 3 or 2. I know it says 3, but I think I might have got 2. Either way, the fact still remains, now I am higher weapon skill than him, and that was my goal. So I kill the beast here, finish them off, and I do a wound to his BSB. Okay, so combat. It was a real bloody combat. I think I lost. He killed many White Lions, and 7 or so, but I think he had Stomp too, and then he ends up crumbling, which was huge. The rear charge and him not getting ranks and me getting ranks, and I was just able to crush him. I killed many dudes overall. I mean, you see the pile over there. I don't know what it was exactly. And I do 2 more wounds to Epi. So I'm starting to wear him down now. And then that's great because once I kill him, I think this whole army is going to fall apart. But his tally's getting high. Demons turn 3. Okay, so he charges at the bolt thrower. Nothing I can do there. And yeah, so he destroys a bolt thrower in combat. And he gets a 5 and 2. And since he has no more level 4, all he can cast is the 1 spell. I told him, why would you even bother? It doesn't really help you. But he went for it anyway. he gambles it. And over here, yeah, they just crush. And I run away. And, he fails to catch me, which, whatever. They're dead anyway. And so, this combat, same thing. We're just taking wounds at each other. I still fail to kill Epidemius. And then, bang, I get him. Yeah, I thought it was next turn. But yeah, so I end up killing him. I put the final wound on him. And that was huge. Now he's all back down to just the 5 aboard. There's not too much he's going to do. And all my attacks, I feel like I'm going to break this unit very soon now. So High Elves turn 3. I charge into the rear with the bird. With the thunder stomps and everything, I can do pretty well. And then I get magic 5 and a 2. I don't know why I did this. I figured, look, he doesn't have a level 4. If I throw 5 dice and get my weapon skill up, there's going to be no problem. And then I get sucked into the warp. This happened to me last tournament as well. But, I shouldn't have cast it. I don't know why I was doing it. I barely lose any models. I don't think he lost a couple. But from the large round template, that is. For shooting, I killed the beast to the far right. And yeah, so I killed 16 dudes. And then he rolls double ones. And they all come back to life. Even though this doesn't appear, these are in combat. So yeah, he gets all of them wounds back. Oh, it was so bad. Now, it doesn't look like I took many casualties, but I did. See, I had my my unit filler right here. I just took that out, those 4 models, and then I shifted everybody else in. So this is actually a pretty good fight here. Alright, so Demons turn 4. Alright, so, he charges, kills the bolt thrower, and he runs off the board. He charges, kills the bolt thrower over here. I don't have many pictures at the end of the game because the turns were just happening so fast. And everybody else, I think, was, around. We're on table 2 at this point. Everybody's just watching, anybody who's not playing. And so, yeah, so the big news there is I end up beating him. I break him. Kill all the guys after he pulls the double ones. He couldn't do it 2 times in a row, thankfully, and I reform. So now I'm facing where his Soul Grinder is. High Elves turn 4. I move everything forward in anticipation for the Soul Grinder coming back, and then I shoot his BSB off the board. So this is all he has left. Demon's turn, I think it's 5. I'm sorry about that. He turns the Soul Grinder around. And High Elves turn 5. I charge him with everything and go for blood. As a final charge, the killer enemy. And there it is. He's dead. So yeah, once again, just too many attacks for the big profile to deal with. I put the bird right in the corner, dished out as many attacks as I possibly could to him just to finish him off. Alright, so that's the end of game 2. So if you're following it, I have 2 total victories. I have 20 points, and I scored all 5 of the victory points. Now, the victory points were be in your enemy's deployment zone, and the one I forgot to mention was you had to kill your enemy's general within 3 rounds, which I was able to do that because I slingshot myself forward after killing the Soul Grinder. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident in this tournament now that I'm 50 points. Paint score is about to come around. I think I scored a total of a 13 or 14 on paint score out of 20. Whatever. I don't have everything based exactly great, but so yeah, stay tuned for game 3. That's going to be on table 1, and we'll see how this tournament turns out for me. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you have anything that you want to ask me or anything you want to comment on, I'll be sure to comment back. And as usual, share, tell your friends. I don't have many viewers. I'm trying to build up my viewers, so if you know anybody that might enjoy the channel, send them a message and link them to me.